Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for coming. Hopefully we'll feel brave enough to put our videos on, but if not, doesn't matter. Have fun. Lovely to see you all, guys. Welcome to the Reflect, Renew and Repurpose webinar. I'm holding this mainly to understand, to help people understand the world we're in at the moment and what we're going through. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to say, I've been going up and down like a yo-yo, the Corona coaster, as it's been known. And if I'm, as an experienced business person, as an experienced business coach, somebody who's kind of go, oh, I've got it all under control. I know exactly what I'm doing in my life. If I'm still going up and down, I know you guys are as well. So this is a sharing, caring space where I want to give you as much as I possibly can. Now, as we know, in this world, there is nothing like nothing known like a free lunch. And this is not a free lunch because I am taking your time, and I really appreciate that. So because I'm having your valuable time, if you are able to stay to the end, I want to reward you with that time with a free gift. And that's something that you can take away with you today. And as in most webinars, I want the last 5 to 10 minutes to be me sharing about something that I'm doing now that I'm really excited about, that I would like you to join me on. So yes, there is a sell. I'm going to be upfront about it. There's no hiding. You all know the way the game goes. There is a sell, and that's why there's the free gift at the end if you can stay to the bitter end. But hopefully I will have given you so much jam-packed information over the next 50 minutes that you'll be blown away and you'll be curious about the final 10 minutes, because that's the best bit. Okay, so it's lovely to have you all with me. Thank you so much for joining, and let's get started. I'm going to share my little old screen. We have a little PowerPoint just for a change. But that is for me more than you, because it helps me to remember where I'm going and what I'm saying. Because if you know me already, you know that I can talk for England, and I have a brain that's just buzzing with stuff, and I don't like to go off at tangents too much because I'll forget where I'm at. Menopause brain will get me, and I'll forget where I started from. So this is for my benefit. But please, if you want the slides later, you're more than welcome. If it means something to you, we can go forward. So welcome. Why are we here? Well, hopefully you're here to learn. Why are we here on the planet? That's a bigger question, and that's something that we ask in Collaboration Global. What I want to find out, what I want you to reconsider today is, what's your purpose? Why are you here? You know, is it to make money? Probably not. We have to do that because it's practical, but it's not why you're here. It's not the reason that you are living here today. So what I'm offering while we're here in the next hour is to get as much information as possible, and to support each other, and to be there for each other, and for me to share what I know so that you have a bit of an easier life, you have a better business, you can make a difference in your world. And hopefully whatever you've learned, you pay it forward. You take it out and go, oh, I learned this the other day. Because what I'm sharing here is what I've learned over the last 2-3 months and the previous 30 years. So can't fit it in 50 minutes, all of it, but I'll have a blooming good try. So why are we here? It's about love, connection, and abundance. There's plenty of it to go around, all three. I want to connect with you at a deeper level. I want you to realize that this isn't just about transactional stuff. It isn't just about finding ways to make money. It's building your purpose in a world that is changing like we have never experienced before. Probably the last time it transformed itself was after the Second World War. And I'm right in saying that none of us were there, but we know what it was like. We have been told what it was like, and we've an experience of what it was like in our lives growing up. So before I continue, I just want to share with you guys who I am. Who the hell is Jill Tiny? So I've just explained, I've been in business for 30 years. I started a business with my husband, and we still have that going today. And we sell products. We sell everything that schools could possibly want. Can you hear that, schools? How are we doing at the minute? Schools are shut. Business is crap. So we have had to really very quickly go, what else can we do? How else can we focus? What can we? So we've had to repackage and look at other ways of working. So I want to kind of take that experience that we've just been through to see if we can help you. I've also been a business coach since 2007. So I've worked with dozens, hundreds, if not thousands of people to help them see their business in a new light, to see their life in a new light, to see themselves in a new light, so they can achieve their full potential. And that's the reason I'm here. Why am I here? I'm here to help everybody reach their full potential. Everybody. everyone I come in touch with, I want to give them something they can take away and go, wow, I'm going to do that. That's really interesting. It's my reason for being. So previously, in a previous incarnation, I was a teacher. I've been a primary school teacher. And before that, I worked for local government. So I know what it's like to be part of a big organisation. See the face? Didn't like it very much. I like working for myself. I like being an entrepreneur. We've also got some properties abroad. Not going great at the minute because we can't let them out. So you can see that we've been like this all the way along. I'm also an author, one of my little books here. So technically that makes me an authority. I know a lot of stuff and I've put enough of it into a book, several books in fact. I'm on my 4th one at the moment. I'm also a speaker. I've been blessed enough to travel the world. I've spoken in Singapore, Los Angeles, Reading, you know, all over Scotland, everywhere, Spain. I've been very, very lucky to work hard within an organisation as a consultant for BNI. Now, some of you might go, BNI, but if you follow what they have worked out works within a networking organisation, you've kind of got a really good recipe going forward. And I was able to train people, directors and the members, to help them to understand the value of relationships within the networking environment. And then I kind of took that knowledge and information and I've created Collaboration Global, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later on. I'm also a mum, got 2 girls, 28 and 30. You don't look old enough, I hear you say. Thank you, appreciate that. And that's my reason for being. That's why I'm here, because if I'm doing something that impresses them, my job done, because I want them to live their lives going, well, if mum can do it, I can do anything. And that's kind of how I see it with other people. I'm impressed by everything that you do. Even if you think it's ordinary, it's not, it's extraordinary. And I want you to be proud of yourself and what you're doing and what you're achieving. And I'm also married to the lovely Alan Brown, who I believe is on the call. And we've been together since 1977. Yeah, since I was 3, something like that. Okay, so that's why we're here. So let's start the webinar from the Reflect, Renew and Repurpose. So COVID-19, not to answer for, huh? It's devastated so many people and so many industries. What's happened to these guys? It's tough, isn't it? I've coached a lot of people in the wedding industry and it's just decimated what they do. It's really struggling. I mean, obviously next year, hopefully it will all start coming back again. But they have to now think about their world in a totally different light. Because that is the tip of the iceberg. The world we have been used to, that we've taken for granted in a big way, is just, it's gone wonky now. It's totally different. Are you keen to get on an aeroplane right this minute? Probably not. Travel industry, flights, it's going to be very difficult, very different, very, not because they can't, but because we are choosing to consume in a different way. So the consumer is king at the moment. Oh, now this is the fun bit. Did you know, fun fact, that we are one of the oldest nations in Europe? So we have more old people than anywhere else, apart from, I think, Italy and Germany. So imagine what it must be like to a large part of our community, you would think would have loads of disposable income, possibly. But that's an interesting fact. Let's take that on board. Baby boomers, our generation, have now gone, oh, do you know what? Coronavirus is too tough out there. Half my business has disappeared. You know, it's going to be too difficult. So I'm going to give up. So they're selling the business and they're going, yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. And then they go, well, hang on, how much? My business is worth more than that, surely. No, it's not. So all of a sudden, these people that are retiring that you would think would have a lot of disposable income, not so much. So are we going to be marketing to them? Are they going to have the resources? Have you got a niche enough product that they're going to want to spend their money with you? Is that your market? Millennials, God bless them, coming into their own. So they are the hardworking generation in my mind, because they went and they got themselves a university education, but they had to pay for it. Our generation didn't have to. It fell in our lap. That was fine. Didn't always take advantage of it. And then now they come out of university, does a job drop in their lap? No, they have to blooming do internships for 6 months or more. It's crazy. I mean, our eldest daughter, she did an internship with Macmillan for 6 months. And all she got was, I think, expenses to get there and back. no salary whatsoever. She still worked 3 other jobs while she was doing their internship. She raised them £164,000. And then at the end of 6 months went, can I have a job, please? And they went, oh no, I haven't got any money in the budget. Crazy, eh? She could create the blooming budget, but they didn't want to know, so she left. So millennials work flipping hard, but look at their attitude. I don't know any millennial that actually owns a car. And I know a lot. They don't need it. If they're working in the city, they run to work. They're talking about getting fit. They're on their bikes. Now, if you've got a bike shop or you want to start a new business, go get a bike shop. For goodness sake, they are doing great guns. Everyone is thinking about getting on the bike rather than having a car. Even me and my husband, the other day, we're looking at getting a new car. And we said, well, should we go down to one? Do we really need to? We're thinking of the planet. We're thinking of our outgoings. We're thinking of, actually, we should walk further. We should walk more. Should we try the train? Is that going to be more, environmentally friendly? So people's attitudes are kind of changing to how it is. And millennials have got a different attitude to the baby boomers and possibly the current market that you're looking at the moment. AI going to bring new trends in health as a tip of the iceberg. That's just an idea. So have you heard about your health twin? So apparently there is now artificial intelligence that can create augmented reality. So you have your health twin by your side and you go to the GP, or probably have an augmented reality GP in front of you. You tell your symptoms, and normally at the GPs, they write you a little prescription, go, see how that goes. Have a go with that. And then you open it up and there's all these side effects that you could possibly have. But with your health twin, it has everything replicated the same as you. So the health twin takes the medication and then you see how it would affect you. Is anyone else bizarre? It's shocked, isn't it? It's like mind-blowing what's happening. But my mind goes, well, GPs are out of a job, aren't they? Because we'll be doing that ourselves. Why would we need, we would find our own resources and take it. So AI is going to bring a huge trend, and it's not in the next generation, it's possibly in the next year or two. So if that's something you want to get into, interesting, but see how your purpose for your life would fit into what that would bring. And finally, love it or hate it, 5G is on the horizon. Now, I was on, as I say, I learn as much as I possibly can, and I am connected to Daniel Priestley. So he was on a little training session the other day that I jumped into, and he was telling us that 5G, the power of 5G, connected to GPS and all of the cameras that are around. You could be walking down Oxford High Street and you have a signal that means you want to get home. You've finished your shopping, you need a car. You don't own a car. Nobody's going to own a car. But you do a signal, maybe like that, do something that's reflective. The camera picks it up. They sees that. You get a buzz on your phone or on your device, however you have your device. And it says, yep, car's going to be there in 3 minutes. And the driver knows what you look like, so he knows who he's picking up. Now, a little while ago, we were talking about driverless cars. And everyone was like, no, that's never going to happen. Well, do you know there's been 3 driverless cars jogging around the UK for the last 6 months, if not longer, with no accidents and no fallout? They've been testing them. It's going to come. It's going to happen. I've actually been fortunate enough to be in a Tesla myself. And they said, take your hands off the wheel, take your hands off the pedals. And we went round corners, we went round roundabouts. I'm like, oh my God, it's so difficult to be in that space. But it can happen now. So our world is going totally 180% in a new direction. Are you ready for it? What's your business? If you're in something that's a people business that's centered around the heart, you're probably okay. But if you're in a doing business, like an accountant or a solicitor, they're one of the people that are going to be suffering and struggling. Yeah, moving on. So food for thought, reflection. So how have we reacted to COVID-19? Some good, some bad. But we've worked out we can give up consuming. I haven't bought anything apart from food since it started. I haven't bought a new frock. I'm not into buying for the sake of buying, because it's like, well, I like to get a new outfit if I'm going somewhere. If I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going to buy anything. So generally, I think we've given up consuming, but also We've given up a new way of living. We've created a new way of living. We haven't had a takeaway for ages. We haven't been to a restaurant for ages. So we're cooking at home. Now, we've always cooked a lot at home, but a lot of people, that's brand new to them. And they're saving money by cooking at home, and they're getting healthier by cooking at home, and they're losing weight by cooking at home. So why would they go back to the old way? So I think personally that we're not consuming quite so much. As I said before, I don't think we need cars as much as we believe we do. And if people are walking more, they're much less likely to go, let's jump in the car and do a 5-minute drive. How lovely would that be? How much exhaust fumes are we going to save on? Maybe mums and dads will let their kids walk to school. There's a revelation. Just because you live a mile or 2 away from the school, why do you have to get in the car? 2 miles is fine. Great walk in the morning, coming home. I used to love walking to school. You like crafting? Okay, hands up if you've made something. I just overheard a conversation earlier where someone was saying, I'm taking up sewing. My daughter's taken up crochet. It's making stuff. It's repurposing things. It's finding ways of taking the old and creating it into the new. And that's why I reflect back to World War II. You know the phrase, make, do, and mend. My mother would never throw anything away because she knew it might come in handy one day. Now, I know there's that hoarder's mentality that she might be doing that still, but are you hoarding? Are you repurposing? Look at your business. What can you do in your business that can repurpose it into a different direction, in a better direction going forward? This is the other thing. We are good at communicating online. We've found that out. Many of us have been loath to go and do Zoom or any other way of communicating online, but is that a blessing or a curse? Because again, going back to accountants and solicitors, if you're used to outsourcing, then all of a sudden what you're doing working from home with X amount of pounds per hour on your tariff means that actually somebody in the Philippines could probably do that if it's number crunching. So the more we get used to being online, the more distance doesn't become a problem. Now that could be brilliant in your business. Have you used people per hour? Have you used Fiverr? Yes, I have. Thank you very much. It works. It's brilliant. It's cheap. Why would you necessarily go to a designer and spend an absolute fortune? So I had a logo designed that cost me £27.95 as opposed to 3 different quotes I got, none of which were under £500. One was like nearly 5,000. So I know you say you get what you pay for, but it's a different way of looking and thinking about things. So be careful what can be outsourced. Make sure you can't be outsourced, what you do. And again, if what you do is about connecting with people and being part of, they need you, not what you do, they need you because of how you perform it. It's a different way of looking. Oh yes, I'm a bookkeeper. But I want a bookkeeper that's going to look at my figures, reflect back to me, help me to understand it, because they know me and they know that I don't do numbers. They know that I don't do spreadsheets. So they're going to present it to me in a way that I'm going to come back to them again and again and again. Can you see? I mean, technically, bookkeeping, anyone can do that. But I want that bookkeeper that's going to look after me because I want to connect with them. And I think that's the way our world is moving forward. We've understood, because of COVID-19, we care. We care about each other. And we've also realized that the glue that's holding this country together are the people that are being paid the least. Don't get me on my soapbox. How fair is that? Doesn't even start to get there. So make sure your business, if you're into the people business, is that people that are going to need what you can offer. You're offering them the how in a way that is unique because it's you. There we go. So it's time to renew. Now I'm going to look at my notes here because there's so much that I can include. So whatever your situation, your business is in, it just needs a dust off. Even if you're tearingly successful, and there are people out there, and I think there's 1 or 2 on this call, that go, well, I'm getting loads of business, I'm fine, thanks, I'm great. But what is your breaking point? Even if you've got loads and loads of business coming in, can you sustain that? Can you sustain your customer service? Can you sustain your good reputation? Or when you're juggling all those balls and you drop one, people moan about the drop ball more than they moan about you catching all the ones that you do catch. So even if you're doing great at the moment, what is in place to ensure that you can level up, go up to the next level and reach up? And if you don't have enough customers, if you don't have enough clients, What can your business do? What can you do to attract them to you? Because it's not just a numbers game. There is part of that. It's a balance. You have to reach, and you have to connect, and you have to meet, and you have to be available to and people to see you and raise your profile. But you still have to do, so you have to have the numbers, but you still have to do the connecting and building the relationship before people will want to buy from you. Now, some people, if you're selling product, that's easier because one, not half the time, is it cheap enough? So you can wangle that one because it's the value that you add into it. When you're looking for more clients, it's about what you're offering and how you connect to them. So even if you are selling product, when you connect to them, they buy because they like you. They know you, they like you, they trust you. And that's why they come back. So it's longevity of your client as well. So if it's just about sell, 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 don't care about them, they'll come back because they need it. They'll go and find the cheapest. And nobody ever wants to be the one that the only reason people buy from you is because you're cheap, because you can't win that game. It's almost impossible. So you don't want to go down that road. Building the right connections and building loyalty. So let's look at what we can do. Have you sat down with anyone recently? And when I say sat down with anyone, I'm talking about somebody either in business who's been there, done it, and understands it, and you see as successful, and who inspires you, or someone that you can pay to help you and support you. And again, if you're going to choose a coach or a mentor or a consultant, ask all the relevant questions. Have they walked the talk? Are they doing what they're telling you to do? Have they experienced that? Have they got success through that? It's like a financial advisor. You wouldn't employ a financial advisor if he kind of left in a Morris Minor and it's like, well, shouldn't you renew your car? Oh, I can't afford it this month. Okay, don't think I'll let you look after my money then. So find someone you can sit down and talk to. Very important. And these are the sorts of things you want to be looking at. What's your model? How does your business make money? Do we even think about that? And is it all reliant on exchanging time for money? So if you are a coach, are you just peddling one-to-ones? Are you doing group coaching? Are you offering online courses? Are you doing the work once and getting paid forever? So understand what creates your money, and then think about how you can find a way of creating that residual income. That's you do the work once, you get paid forever. Your market. This is the easiest thing that you can do. So, okay, I'm selling to that sort of person because I love working with those because I understand that industry. Great, well, keep working. If it's an industry that you've been in and you get it, people want to buy from you because you understand the pain they're going through. So don't shift your market, widen it maybe, but look at your market and see if you can possibly niche. Can you just work with specific people? So, for example, if you think, well, I enjoy working with women. If you're a coach and go, I coach women, that's fine. Well, what sort of women? Well, if you look at yourself, they're going to connect with you because they get to like you. So if you're sort of in your 50s, coaching 20-year-olds might not work. It might do, but sometimes it's just try it out. Try to go for a niche and see if that fits for you. And even if you can micro niche, it's better to be a big fish in a small pond than the other way around. You don't want lots of, so by saying, I can coach anyone, well, yes, you can. That's fine because you've got the skills and you've got the talent, but everyone doesn't want to be coached by you because you coach everyone else. I want to be coached by someone that knows who I am. I want to be coached by somebody that gets me, that understands me. I want to be coached by someone that's been through some of the pain that I've been through. So if your story is about a tragedy that happened in your life, you've had abuse in your life in the past, well, share that story, get it out, show your vulnerability. People will be drawn to that because they go, oh my God, that happened to me too. She knows exactly what I went through. And then you've got that niche. And then you can work with those people rather than say, I work with anybody. So that's a very dangerous thing, especially if you're going networking. Really hone in on who you want and who you need to work with and make sure everything reflects that. Your products. What are you tangible? This is a thing. Hey, as in stationery, would you like to buy diaries for next year? Let's go to a school and say, do you want to buy 50 diaries for next year? It's a thing, it's a product. But You make it special and you make it different by going, we have colors in every color of the rainbow. What color do you want? We can give you all of those colors. Fantastic. So it all of a sudden go, they're quirky, they're different. That's it. Oh, I don't like that burgundy that everybody else has. I want to have that lime green that looks so cool. So think about your products. And if it's a physical product, hurrah, because it's easy to go, well, that's my main product and that's where I'm going to get some more money and that's where I go. And you kind of build them into a family of products that complement each other. But take it into services. If you're a coach, for example, you need services, products that you create that complement each other. So you would have, for example, an easy product is the book. That's the first one that people want to, well, I'll find out about you. I'll find out about what your intelligence is, what your emotional quotient is, what you do. That's an easy one. That's 12 quid, 12.99. And then you take the next product up, which because they've seen that one and they say, okay, let's do the next product. Maybe that's 50 quid. And then the next product, maybe that's 200. And then you go to the bread and butter stuff that you want to do with them all the time. 2 grand, 5 grand, whatever it is for you, 10 grand. But they've had that journey along the way. So you've got products like a book that is out there constantly attracting people. And the people that come to you are the ones that go, she knows what I'm talking about. She's clever. Or he's clever. I don't want to be sexist. So look at your products. What are you offering? Do you have one product? Time for some more. And then how do they complement each other? How do they flow in? Is it easy for someone to jump from one to the other? Or have you got the book and then you've got 3 grand product? Maybe you want something that's going to be a stepping stone up to that as well. Also, one of the easiest things I find is when collaborating with other people that have products. So you have that great product, I have this great product, and my product is a stepping stone to your product. How about we put the two together? So if you're selling this and people can't afford it, they come and sit here and they take on this. And then when they can afford you, I'll pass them back. And some of my people will come here and they're looking for more. I don't have more to give them, but I'll send them on to you. Obviously, reciprocated financially as well. So look at other people that you can buddy up with. Because you know what? It's not overnight to write a book. I can get it done for you in 10 weeks, literally, but it's still 10 weeks, and then you've got to get it printed and then you've got to get it out there and then da-da-da-da-da. So look at somebody else that's got a book that maybe you can, or 2-3 of you can write together. So it takes less time. So one of my books I wrote with 17 people. It was fantastic. It's all about love. So other people can go, okay, she's written a business book, but she's written a book about love as well. It worked for me to add it into my little repertoire of products that I had. So think about how you can buddy up with other people. Just to really, either look at their market and see if you can share their market. Maybe they've got a database that they haven't utilized enough and you can share that. We've done that with my other business as well, where people come with a product and we sell it into our database. And because we have great customer relations with our database, they will accept that product. Now, if this person with a product had come into this database cold without the introduction, they would have got nowhere. So think about how you can utilize other people that you know and you trust and you respect, so that you can actually both grow and both get to the next level and both reach a potential. Now this one, for the most observant of you, has a little asterisk going on here. Your profile. Now, I speak from one who's suffered recently in this, is your profile is who you are and it's your brand, yeah? And we have recently, in Collaboration Global, rebranded. Literally January it all kind of kicked off. So I never realized how far I was out there and how many places I had to change my stuff. And people even this week are still going, did you know you still got your old brand on it? Oh, flip, I didn't realize. It's worth spending time going to have a look at where your brand is, where you are sitting, and what the message is that people are hearing from you. Now I'm going to take a moment to stop sharing, to go on somewhere else. Hang on, let's escape from that. And with permission, Francis, I'd like to just show off here. Now, where is he? Is he still here? Yes, here. Francis, hi. If it's all right with you, and I've kind of done it anyway, I just wanted to show this as a beautiful example of how your profile on LinkedIn can look awesome. Now, I know there are some of you on this call today that will go onto their LinkedIn profile, and that blue screen, I'm pointing like you can see me, sorry. That blue screen Here it's just a picture, you know, it's got nothing on it. It's the blank LinkedIn version of what you could have up there. Make the most of it. Do something with it. As you can see with Francis, you can see very, very clearly what his mission is: to educate and protect over 1 million people from cybersecurity threats by 2023. All of a sudden, I like this guy. He's on a mission. I like people on a mission. It means you're determined. It means you've got purpose. It means you care, that you want to reach as many people as you possibly can. I think I want to get in touch with him. Oh, hang on, look, the phone number's there. How convenient. I haven't even got to go look for it. Oh, look, and it's got his little website as well, and I can get in touch with him on the email. Perfect. What's not to like? How easy is that? And a really nice professional picture that isn't 20 years old. There isn't any, I mean, look at the man in front of you now and look at that photo. It's the same person. It's not like these Hollywood shots where people have it done and you're like, oh, your God, you don't look like you do in real life, do you? So for that, it helps him, for his message to get out there, and he's doing nothing at all. That is constantly there. He puts effort into LinkedIn because that's where his market sits. He could be doing a huge amount on Facebook. Probably not. I don't know. Are you doing much on Facebook? No, not a huge amount on Facebook. Yeah, but he could choose, if he wanted to pivot his market and go down that route if he wanted to. But I believe that LinkedIn is working very well for him at the moment. So is there any, do you want to add on to that, on Francis, around?
Yeah. I mean, I think for any person that's in business today, you know, this is so critical, because especially us all working from home as well, you know, people are more likely to check you out online. And normally the first thing, I don't know if you know, but even if you're using Outlook, for instance, have you seen the plugin for LinkedIn in Outlook? So every time a new email comes in, there's a little LinkedIn icon that pops up. So if you hover over it, you can go straight to somebody's profile. And of course, if yours is not good, you're losing opportunities, number one. Number two, just on that same note, you know, I highly recommend that people post at least once a day. Because if people are going to check you out and you dip in one little post every couple of weeks or once a month, it just shows me that you're not really active as an online business person. So that would be my just two top small tips.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And one of the things we do at Collaboration Global, when we learn things like this, and I've been working with Francis in kind of LinkedIn experiment for myself to find out how I can maximize my reach. As much as I learn, I'm sharing with other people as well to make sure that we can support them too. So thank you very much for that. Perfect example of a LinkedIn profile. So hang on, where were we? Oh, it's gone back a couple. Here we go. So make sure, if you do nothing else today, go onto your LinkedIn profile, make sure it looks as sexy as Francis's one, and also find out where else it sits. So are you on Facebook? What does that profile look like? Do you have a group? Make sure that profile is looking fancy. Twitter, wherever you happen to be, even your email signature. The amount of people that have an email signature with loads of links in, which looks really fancy, but you know what? You're going to end up in junk. It's not worth it. So just make it really clean and make sure that you can get contacted. That's the bottom line. I want to be able to contact people. Bash, really great. If you're on Meetup, if you've registered there, if you're on Eventbrite, there's millions of places that you've probably got your profile and probably got a little bio about yourself. Revisit, go and revisit. So if nothing else today, it will take you probably 3 minutes to tidy up your profile, make it look gorgeous. But then start, if you've got more time, go and have a look at other places as well. And your message. Is your message one of sell, buy, kind of 1990s? Or is it saying something that's powerful? Is it saying something that people want to connect into? Is it saying something people, oh, what's more? Tell me some more. And that message has to be consistent. That message has to be the first tweet on your Twitter feed. That message has to be everything on your personal Facebook page as well as your group. So if you've got a personal Facebook page, why would it be different to anything else? You're selling you. It's a brand you. Whether you like it or not, that's how we buy from people. You cannot buy from a faceless organization anymore. We used to be able to, but now we want to know who's behind it. We want to connect with them. We want to admire them. We want to be inspired by them. We want to show off about them. Oh, I got my security from this amazing guy because he did this and this and this. And it's like, oh, you should get in touch with that. You want to create advocates for you, raving fans that are going to be selling you without you having to do a thing. So make sure your message is everywhere that you need it to be. And as Francis demonstrated on his LinkedIn profile, what's your mission? If you've got a large, fat, audacious goal, what are you aiming to do? So my mission, to teach the world to collaborate. It's ridiculously large. But if I know that I can teach a handful of people, that's my job done for today. And tomorrow I'll work on the rest of the world, but I'll keep going. And I believe collaboration is so powerful that if we had it within our business, we had it within our relationships, we had it within our communities and our society as a whole, the best of Corona would be constant. It would keep on going. And that's where you have to think about your mission. Who am I helping? When am I going to help them? How am I going to help them? What's my first step? And can I create that big, fat, audacious mission statement? Because that just pulls people in. Your emotional tie just brings them closer to you. And you might be sitting there going, oh yeah, but I sell utilities, or I'm only selling stationery, or whatever it might be, but you can still have a passion. So just as an example, as a product, the School People is my other business, and it's our passion to make teachers' lives easier. Because there's nothing worse for a teacher than going, and I was a teacher, going to the cupboard and going, oh, where's all the paper gone? We've run out. Oh no, I'll go to the store cupboard. Where's the cupboard? So the School People will make sure that they'll ring you up and say, you're running low on stock. Did you realise? Well, do you want us to place an order? So simple and so easy. So those schools that use the School People know they're never going to run out. So that mission is to make teachers' lives easier. It's a simple statement, but they love it and it brings them in. And it isn't coy, it's really meant. It's a passionate statement that you believe. And no matter how crazy it is, you believe you can do it. Why wouldn't you? So I would probably start with your mission. That's probably the first one to get going on. Obviously, you need to identify your purpose. You need to identify your vision. If you haven't got someone that you can work with on that, that's the beauty of Collaboration Global. There are people in the community that will go, yeah, go on, I'll sit down and have that conversation with you and start you off and get you going. Because it is quite a big thing to work out. If you're scratch zero, it can take a few days to kind of get it all in your head. But once it's in there and once it's in your heart, it's ignition. It just boosts you, gets you out of bed in the morning. You know those days when it's like, I can't do it again. I want to go and do the way I used to do it and I can't because I've got to be at home and I can't. Whatever your whinges and moans are, if you've got that big, fat, audacious goal, you've got your vision, your mission is set, that spark has been lit and it's like, phew, off you go. Get out of bed. And I need to connect with all those millions of people because they need me. You're doing them a favor. Right, let's look at what else we can do. What smart technology do you use? We're all into technology now, whether we want to or not. I'm not a great techie person, but I'm learning because it saves you time. If you are not saving yourself time through automation, through looking at processes, through making sure that this talks to that piece of software, whether you're using Zapier, whether you're using your CRM system, your email marketing system, they've all got to talk to each other. Look at Xero, that plugs into all sorts of different things. There are so many bits of technology. And if you're like, whoa, too much, again, you need to have someone that you can turn to go, look, I've got all this and I'm doing it and it's taking me forever and it's breaking down and it doesn't work properly and I keep forgetting my passwords and I feel that pressure, technology when it works, it's like a car. It's a dream. Love the car. The minute it breaks down and you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, it's the most frustrating thing on earth. So check your technology. Are you using up-to-date stuff? Do you have someone that can tell you about software? Because I don't know about you, but there's so much out there. And I'll say the word again, bright, shiny objects. I'm the world's worst, all right? I know this. I'm the world's worst for going, that looks really good. What about that? Oh, let's try that. And any technology, you have to factor in, there's probably a 2 or 3 week learning curve just to learn how to use it before you decide, actually, it doesn't really work for me. So isn't it better to go into chat rooms and find out how it's working for other people? Make sure it's recommended and why it's recommended. Oh, and the other one that really bugs me. Oh, this is really intuitive. Oh, this isn't really intuitive. Well, intuitive to who? Doesn't matter. whether you say this isn't intuitive, because it doesn't mean intuitive for everybody, it's just for them. Because what works for you doesn't work for somebody else. And sometimes you just have to learn it because you need it. One of my recommendations, don't go for the big stuff. If you are under 100k a year company, you probably won't want to grow into Salesforce or what's the other one? Not this, I can't remember it now. I want to say confusion.com. Infusion. Yeah, some of the big boy stuff is just too much. It's like having a washing machine that does 20 programs, but you only use 2. Why would you do that? So stick to stuff that's free to start with, and then you can, as you build, you click on. Some of the favorites, I mean, MailChimp is nice and free to start a ball rolling, and you can add on. Zapier does a world of good for lots of different things. Trello gets you organized, and that's a freebie. That's amazing. Canva's a great starter, all those kind of things, but find someone that loves all that. So I'm really lucky in our community. We've got somebody who's kind of obsessed by new software, and he finds the deals and try that. And now I'm getting to the stage of, okay, this sounds really good. Why is it better than that one? And I'm getting to know a little bit myself about it, and he can explain things to me. So find that person that you know that can help you with smart technology. Look at new markets, but you've got to test them. So I've said, pivot, try a new market. It all sounds very simple, doesn't it? But really you need to test it, because otherwise you can end up spending an awful lot of time and energy going down the wrong road. So again, in our community, we can try stuff out and say, hey, I've got a new course. Anyone want to try it out for me? And then you get the feedback and you go, well, those 3 people loved it because they're in my demographic and those 3 didn't. So, okay, I'm on the right step, and then you can move on to the next step. It's much nicer when you've got people that you can have a sounding board for and try stuff out with. So don't pivot your market because Jill said pivot your market without actually doing the test and measure stuff as well. Sounds like it's common sense, doesn't it? But you'd be amazed at how many people don't bother doing that. Again, getting back to products. If you're a product-driven business, and let's face it, we should all be product-driven, because it's easier to sell those products out there. Even if you're a coach, you're going to have products within your repertoire. But if you're in services, have you written your book yet? Again, it can take quite a bit of effort. But if you want to write one that will take you 4 hours a week for 10 weeks, it gets you to first draft, and then you push it onto an editor, then, give me a shout. It's finding different things that is quick and relatively easy, but is going to give you gravitas, is going to give you authority, is going to give you opportunity. So think about, what does my market need? What are the problems have they got? And how am I going to solve that? And I'm going to put that into a product. And it might be a series of articles. It might be something you want to put into a magazine and test the water and put it out there and see if people are really interested in that. So think about, what are the problems that my market needs solving, and how can I create that product? And, kind of what I've been doing over the last, it's my thing. I love looking at new trends and new trends that are coming into this world so that you can ride the wave. If something's coming in, if you're currently selling cars, why don't you have a sideline that's going to be selling bicycles as well? It's all machinery that needs to be repaired and looked after. So it's like, I know that's a bizarre way of looking at it, but if people are buying less cars and you're not going to be able to trade in the way that you used to be able to trade, then maybe bicycles is something that's like, well, we're also green, we do this as well. So you'd go to that shop for both. Do we want a car? Do we want a bicycle? Actually, maybe. So it's just thinking outside the box and think about the trends of what's coming up that might fit you perfectly. And just ride that wave and understand that if it's a wave that might come crashing down. An example, PPE equipment at the moment. Nobody can get hold of it for love nor money. People that are selling it are going, "Ooh, this is fantastic." But it's not going to last forever. Well, hopefully we won't need it to last forever. But make hay while the sun shines. But get on top of it while you can. But that doesn't mean, oh, look, I'm a business coach, I'm going to go sell PPE. No, stick to your mission, stick to your vision, stick to your purpose. Does it fit in with that? And build and build and build. Okay, repurpose. Every business has 3 main areas where we can put our focus. Now, this is kind of business coaching 101, so I'm going to whiz through this, but I'm going to say it again because a lot of us don't do it. We know it, but we don't do it. So time, team, transactions. Let's look at time first. Time is where we waste, it's wasted. It's our only resource that we can't renew. Once it's gone, it's gone. Okay, and that's why I'm so grateful for you being on this call, because I know that it's using some of your resource up, but I will make it worth your while in that free gift at the end. But in your time, that's why I say do something once and get paid forever. That's why it's valuable to write your book. That's why it's useful to have a product that's online. That's why it's useful to have that online course. You've got your course, you normally do it as a workshop. You normally do it in a 3-month engagement with an organization. We'll put it online and see if they can use it that way. Make sure that it's viable so you can do that again and again. If you don't know where your time is being lost, and many of us don't, we're kind of going around headless chickens, there is a little exercise that you can do. And I can send you the little grid, but basically, very, very simply, you set up your RAS to find out where your time is being wasted. RAS, reticular activating system. Here's the science bit, okay? It's part of your brain that, and this is a real thing, Google it. It's part of your brain that when you set it up to look for something, you see it everywhere. Do you know, like when you say, I want to buy a Mercedes car, and you go for a drive, like, oh, that's it, I like that, oh, that one. It's there because you've set your brain up for it. If you do the very basics, and I was to say to you, right, look around the room and look at all the things that are red, and you would count and go, yep, 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 yep. So right now, close your eyes and tell me how many things that you saw that were blue. And you'd be like, because you were looking for the red stuff. So when you start setting your RAS up to look for time, where am I wasting my time? It comes everywhere. Now, I did this with one of my clients, and they hadn't realized how much they were wasting, and they found another day and a half a month because of doing this exercise. So what you have to do tomorrow, set your alarm, whatever time you start work, 7, 8, 9, whatever, set your alarm every 15 minutes, put the alarm on every 15 minutes throughout the day you're working. And when the alarm goes off, just write down what you're doing and be honest. Write down whether it was direction, distraction, delusion, or demand. It's an old Stephen Covey classic, okay, but it really works. And all you have to do is write down what you were doing and then decide, was that demand, as in crisis management? Oh my God, I've got to do it now. If I don't do it now. And when I say demand, that could be little Johnny's got to be picked up from someone because he's not very well and you had to go and pick him up. Nobody else was available. That's demand. It's called crisis management. You don't want to be living in demand for too long. You want to be living in direction. I said I was going to do that, and that's what I was doing. And I was doing it, so I was on purpose. But then there's the distraction stuff. The phone goes. And it's like, it's a business call, but then you go into something else. And then you go into something else. Then you put the phone down and go, wow, he spoke 10 minutes for business and 20 minutes on other stuff, which was lovely. And you can do that sometimes. But when you're doing it on purpose, that's fine. But when it's distraction, that's 20 minutes you just lost. And the other one that I love is delusion. How much stuff is delusion? I'm going to go onto Facebook and I'm going to put a post on for my business. And oh, look, she's just come back from a holiday. Oh, those photos look lovely. Oh, look, the baby's been born. Oh, I've just got to put a quick meme in there. And hours disappear. We all know that, don't we? So just check it. Be honest with yourself. And then a month later, you do it again. And for that whole month, you're very conscious that you don't want to be deluded. There you go. There's my alarm going. You don't want to be deluded and you don't want to be distracted. You want to be working in direction. And when you're working 70% of your time in direction, you've got plenty of time for demand if there's a crisis that happens that you hadn't planned for. So you want to be on purpose in direction. So that's a quick way to look at your time. Make sure that you're not wasting anywhere. Team is the big one. You might go, I'm on my own. I don't have a team. I'm a solopreneur. I don't have anyone that I can talk to or turn to. You do. You know you do. You should have an accountant, yeah? You should have your somebody that does your website for you, maybe get to know them a little bit better, and your family. Now, they might not be in business, but they need to hear when you've had a bad day. Those are your team around you. Or connect up with somebody like Collaboration Global when you've got people who are professionals that can support you at a different level. Or even if you've got a Facebook group that you're really cool with and you like them and you can share stuff with them, or you've got your friend that you can talk to. What I would suggest though is in your team around your business is don't take advice from people that haven't already been there and done it. Yep. It's obvious, but I'm going to say it out loud anyway. Transactions is the last one. It's about the money. Make sure you follow the money. Make sure you're not wasting the money. Make sure you've got somebody looking after the money if money is not your thing. and make sure that you're not wasting it. Again, how many things are you paying for on a monthly basis that you've forgotten you're actually paying for, and it's going out without realizing it? Quick review is always worthwhile in times like this. So, not reinventing the wheel. Just because of Corona, the world hasn't gone to pot. It is still happening, but we are changing the way we view the world. There is a talent that we all have that we are underutilizing. We are born with it, it's natural, it's within us. And it's only usually seen in times like now when there's a crisis. There is strength in numbers. Together, we are stronger. We're seeing it now. Did you do the clap last night? Wonderful. Weeks and weeks and weeks, and people still do it every single week because we're so appreciative of the collaboration that's going on, that's supporting us. You and your business can thrive when you build collaboration into its core. Now, it doesn't mean to say you have to go and find another business to let's collaborate with, see how we go. Or you might go, oh, I've done collaboration. Yeah, I got stung. I lost a load of money on that. I'm not doing that again. I'm not talking about that collaboration. I'm talking about mindset collaboration. Collaboration that changes your being. Collaboration that gives you opportunity to be open to all sorts of possibility. It's a different way of seeing the world. This is how we work in Collaboration Global. All of these things, when you have the collaboration mindset, come and flow to you because you're no longer living in fear, scarcity, and competition. You're coming at life, your relationships with your friends, excuse me, your relationships in your business, your relationship with yourself. You're coming at it from a place of love, connection, and abundance. There's plenty to go around. You don't have to live in fear. By connecting to yourself and you understand who you are, you understand what triggers you, you understand what's important to you, you understand your emotional intelligence, how much better can you connect with another person who's also on that same journey? And then when you realize that what you do for a living happens to be complementary, then a collaboration is a natural, organic coming together. So what I want to talk to you about now is what it's like to be part of a collaborative community. In Collaboration Global, we have two different spaces where you can learn, experiment, and support each other. So we're not saying that we know everything about collaboration because it's impossible, right? We're learning as we go, but we've done an awful lot of practice and we've done an awful lot of, that's what we need to do. And my next book coming out is all around the how to collaborate because we've got experience now. We've got it in our back pocket and we know how it works. And that atmosphere of caring and empathy, no ego. Have you gone into a collaboration, even a meeting, a team meeting, and the ego walks in the room? It's like, you've got to listen to me. That doesn't exist. We actually had somebody come to one of our meetings who was an entertainer, an after dinner speaker and an entertainer. And he said, one of my things is to find the ego in the room, the macho person, and then I take the mickey out of him. And that's my entertainment because everyone else loves it. He doesn't like it so much, but everyone else does. He said, I've been sitting at this meeting for 3 hours trying to work out who your ego is in the room and I can't find him or her. I said, well, we leave the ego at the door. We don't come in with that. Now, there are people in the community that could and do occasionally have an ego. That would be me. But when you're working collaboratively, it doesn't serve anyone to bring that in. So it's this kind of understanding and training and culture that we nurture so that we can be supportive. So when someone says something, you go, "Ooh, that was a bit mean. That was a bit," you know, it's about them and not you. You were triggered by something. So, well, why did I get so upset when they said that? Because I know they weren't doing it to hurt me. So you then go and say, but did you know what you said actually triggered me? Oh, no, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. It was a misunderstanding. It gets dealt with in an instant. So much easier, so much kinder than all the little backbiting. And, you know, he said that and she said that, and I'm not going to talk to him anymore because it doesn't exist, because it's a collaborative mindset. Consider what your business would look like when you have a great team. If you're part of a collaboration global community, you have a great team. Bang, done. If you're in, they say, right, how can I help? That's the first question anybody asks when you talk to them. How can I help? What can I do to help? And it's everyone from photographers, accountants, videographers, marketing people, salespeople, and they want to be part of your team and see how they can help, because it's that same philosophy as if I help you, you're going to help me. And you've all got something to give. Whoever joins has got something to give, even if they're coming out of the corporate world and they're like, I don't really know what I can give, but I like being here, and I'm learning and I'm finding out. Well, come join. And then everyone has talent. Everyone has genius within them. It's a given. Sometimes we just have to pull it out and find out what it is. So when you're together in that community, imagine having that team that are fully motivated. All they want is for you to be a success. You help them and they help you with dreams, the big stuff. Not, I'm a bit stuck on my business. It's like, I want to reach 1 million people by 2023. That's a dream. That's something we can get on board with. That's amazing. And then you become aligned, because you realize that it's not about fear mongering. It's not about conspiracy theories. It's not about the world's a terrible place. And, you know, the way the media portray it, it's about, look, we're the ground floor. Let's make it better. Let's choose to make it better. We can choose by the way we act and the way we are being. And by being together, we can grow that and support that. So that great team, trust, focus, and motivation. Sometimes it's hard to be motivated, isn't it? It's really hard to kind of get your mojo in gear and get going. So when I'm like that, I pick the phone up to one of our collaborators, and it's different people every time for different needs. And they're like, yeah, what can I do? How can I help? And sometimes I just need a rant, don't we all? But, you know, you'd think you'd rant to your nearest and dearest. You can't always rant to them, because they have feelings too. All of this stuff comes to you when you're ready to collaborate. So what I'd like to ask you about today is whether you would like to consider joining the Collaborator Academy, which is an online community. And it's an online, as the name suggests, learning community. It's a learning space. So what happens here? Well, you get onto the Mighty Network platform, and it's the simple stuff. It's really easy. We have live Q&As. So when you're struggling and you go, oh, I was going to use this software, I'm not really sure if it's the right one to use, or, you know, I'm going to do my marketing, I'm thinking of pivoting my market, what do you think? There'll be somebody in there that goes, well, have you thought about that, and consider this, and do you want to have a phone call? We've got videos, teaching videos. This month, we've been looking at difficult conversations. It's been fascinating. Just 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes on a Tuesday morning. You're having a cup of tea and a little break, and you read that. And then there's a little download that goes with it. You think, oh, actually, I'm going to fill that in, because that's going to be useful for me when I go and talk to Art Maud next week. We have live online meetings. It's about training. It's about support. But it's about how are you feeling? You know, how's it going? Let's find a good way. And we stretch ourselves. We push ourselves. We challenge each other, because you've got to push that comfort zone out a little bit. So people that have come and they go, oh no, I don't like presenting. I think, well, it's good for you, because if you can present to us lot and we love you, you can present to your next prospect. You can present to your next gig that you want to get, and you get confidence because you practiced on us. Get it wrong with us. Be vulnerable with us. We don't mind. We love you, but we will help you, and we will push you to do stuff that you might not feel is great. But if we feel like you're ready, we want you to do your best. We have the weekly teachings. We have accountability. That's the big one, Mondays and Fridays. And we have, woohoo, let's celebrate together. It's a fantastic space. And that's what we charge a year. Now, if you know that it's a training space, you can have a word with your accountant, and you'll probably be able to claim most of that back. Or you can go the whole hog and become a Collaborator Pro. So you're in the academy, and you also get all of these things. And what happens when you become a collaborator is that we are in it to raise your profile. So we all try and, not always, but we try and comment on each other's posts on LinkedIn, or we support the Facebook group. We maybe retweet each other's stuff. We do what we can to make sure that, you know, when one ship rises, we all rise together. So if somebody does something, by all of us commenting on it, then it makes everyone be aware of that person, and we do it for each other. The other thing we have is a lovely podcast, which we have a proper in-depth conversation. Check out Being Human Hidden Depths on all your usual podcast stations. And we have an online publication which again, we showcase our collaborators. So it's about raising your profile. It's getting you known within the community as it's growing. You get opportunities to present to the meetings, to our guests at meetings, so much more, so many levels. And of course, you've got someone at the end of the phone when you're struggling, when it's difficult. The amount of people that are picking up the phone to go, how's it going? Are you all right? I haven't heard from you. Haven't seen you online for a couple of days. Whatever it is, people care. And they want to get the best for each other. And that can happen in many different levels. But we put in place lots of different things. So for example, if you have an online course, you can host it on the platform. We're not going to charge you for putting it up there. If you sell it, we'll charge 10% to say thank you very much for letting us host it, and that's fine. And we will promote that as well. We will put that through our marketing machine and we'll put it out the other end. You have to do that too. We're not doing it for you, we're doing it with you. That's what collaboration is all about. So these are the options. There is tax to pay on those as well, because as a digital organization, we have VAT. Only recently found that one out, which was down to a collaborator. Don't forget, as I say, both of them should be deductible. Check with your accountant and you should be able to claim it all back. So not a cost, an investment. Our natural instinct is to collaborate. Our society has pulled it out of us. I've just noticed we've gone over 1 o'clock, so I'm done now. I'm going to finish off. We have the power of choice. What will you choose? Thank you for being part of the conversation. So for all of those people that are with me now, this is my free gift to you, the book that I've thrown at the screen a couple of times. Step Up from Desperation to Inspiration in 12 Simple Steps. Even if you don't read books, you just read 1 chapter a month, I guarantee, and you do the 3 things on each chapter, by the end of the year, you'll have a very different business. And it's evergreen stuff that you can do. It's not just pre-corona. And I would like you to do that. The other thing I'd like to say, I will stay on this call if anybody's got any questions about it. Linda is also putting that link in the chat, so you can go in there and pick it up and take your gift from me to you. Thank you very much. I'm going to put my glasses on now so I can see you a bit better. I'm happy to stay on the line to chat further if you've got any questions, but also... One second, let me just round up. But also, I would just like to say that if anybody joins either the Academy or becomes a collaborator, the Collaborator Pro program, in the next 24 hours, I personally will sit down with you, maybe distance beautifully if it's face-to-face, and have a coaching session with you around whatever your need is at that time. I will make sure that you walk away feeling $1 million. So, any questions?
Just a quickie. Could Linda send me an email with the link, please, for the book?
An email will be going out to all attendees with all the links.
Thank you.
Thanks. Brian, was you going to ask something?
Yeah, no, I'll go for it. I just wanted to sit down and have a chat about the difference between the Pro and the other one.
The Academy. Well, I'll explain now. I mean, the Academy is just the learning space. So,
okay, Sue wanted to say something. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Apologies.
No. So the Academy is literally just the place where you go online and learn. The Collaborator Pro is we put you on the podcast and we market that for you. We put you in the Quest and we market that for you. You get to present at our live meetings, so you get to showcase what you do. So people get to know how good you are. Then they look at your database, their database, and see if they can support you. You get to do masterclasses. You get to be in masterclasses and get their expertise, but you get to deliver masterclasses as well. Anything else I'm missing out on, Linda?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. One is a learning and one is a doing. But I
think the other thing is, in the learning space, though, you do still have a meeting with those, with those collaborators.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of content in there to get together once a month and meet with those individuals and share experiences and knowledge and skills.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The collaborators get the Academy as well. So you don't, if you're a collaborator, you've got everything. But if you don't want to be, oh, you don't need to raise my profile, I'm fine. That's okay. And I don't really want to get into collaborations with anyone else, and I don't really need to showcase my stuff, then just do the Academy. That's, but we've kept them relatively simple. What in
Yeah.
in English version, it's about 25, 30 quid, I think, because it's in dollars, which is frustrating because the platform we're on. It's about, I think, 30 quid a month for Academy and about 65.
65, yeah. It's at
for-
the current rate, it's 65.
And that excludes VAT, does it?
Yes.
There is a tax, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Annoying, isn't it? But yeah, I thought I'm not registered for VAT, but it's because it's a digital membership. And if you've got a digital book, anyone's got a digital book, you have to pay VAT on that as well. And apparently HMRC are getting more stringent because everyone is doing stuff online. So
I think I look at it that the Academy is very much about the being, and the Collaborator Pro is very much about the doing. But you know, we do a lot of both in both.
Okay, no, that's cool. So you can upgrade from one to the other if you want.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
But you won't lose out.
But it's not just, you know, you're there and you're just getting things, you know, thrown at you to learn. It is very collaborative, and there is a meeting where you collaborate with other people, and there's a lot of interaction as well.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Any other questions? I think we're done then. Thank you so much for being with me today. Hopefully some of it is a takeaway, and I'm going to do that this afternoon because it's Friday afternoon, the sun's shining. Do that as your homework before you go out to play. And I just loved having you with me, and hopefully you enjoy the book as well. So I will see you all anon. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye. Nice to have you with us,
Have a
Darren.
good weekend, everyone.
Yeah, you too. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.